You are about to enter the Red and Rev Sports Show experience. Get ready for some real sports talk from some real sports fans who were real sports athletes who have sports knowledge.
What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? Welcome to episode 355. And this week, man, a lot of things that are set in stone. Well, what's set in stone this week? The college football playoffs are set in stone. The NBA Cup is set in stone. Devondre Campbell's retirement is set in stone. The Eagles' issues are definitely set in stone. Max Freed's financial future is set in stone. Bill Belichick's coaching future is set in stone. Jimmy Butler's trade options are set in stone. OBG, DJ, and his future with the Dolphins is set in stone. And guess what? Rev, Coach, Armani, and Red talking about it is also set in stone. Episode 355. Let's be gone.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Red and Rev Sports Show. Red and Coach are coming to you live from the ATL Shorty. While Armani, who was here for a brief second, and Rev are coming to you from the East Coast. We come to give you real sports talk because we are real sports fans who are real sports athletes who have what, gentlemen? Real sports knowledge. So hang out with your boys, Red, Coach, Rev, and hopefully Armani for episode 355 of the Red and Rev Sports Show. And as is our sports custom, we turn our numbers attention to our residential sports numerologist, Coach Patrick Thomas, to give us something or someone dealing with the three digits 355. What you got for us, Coach?
Okay, good morning, everybody. Good morning. The number 355 today goes to a young man who's he played for three teams in the NFL, mostly the Miami Dolphins, and he is a recent 2023 Hall of Fame inductee. He's one of the better linebackers of his time when he played. And that honor goes, he wore the number 55. That honor goes to Zach Thomas of the Miami Dolphins, number 355.
Brother Zach Thomas, linebacker, hard hitter for the Miami Dolphins. All right, Coach, thanks for sharing that. We appreciate that. And we want to welcome everybody to the Red and Rev Sports Show. We want to encourage everyone to like and share. Like and share if you don't mind, so that we can get other persons to join us in being a part of what we call Revanite Nation on this show. All right, let's welcome Revanite Nation. As I talk about them, they help make the show what it is. Let's see, the VP is in the building briefly, slamming down the gavel to begin another fire episode of the Red and Rev Sports Show. Said Revanite Nation, rise up and make him proud, for I believe he said he's about to catch a flight heading home from Nash, Vegas. All right, brother, we pray for your safe travels home, and we look forward to being with you virtually the next time you join the show. Also, Winston Thornton says, what's going on, fellas, in chat? Smash that like button. Your share, truly appreciate your sharing ministry, brother Winston. The president is in the building. He says, thanks, VP, for slamming the gavel. Let's go. All right. And the president says, good morning, gentlemen. Taking a break from the Tyrannosaurus. Tyrannosaurus Rex wrestling in Montezuma, Georgia. Montezuma. Montezuma. All right. I'm going to have to get these locations before the show so I ain't stumbling over them. The VP is doping before we get there on Notre Dame women's basketball for bringing that fire against UConn this week. Great win. Hannah Hidalgo is that chick. Great sophomore. Tremendous. All right, appreciate it. Armani, let me know if you're joining the show or not, bro, because I ain't let you on without a lot of pictures. So just let me know when you're ready by showing your face. With that being said, we're going to move on as we normally do it. Hold on. He's trying to fix his sound. All right. We'll give you the opportunity to fix your sound, and we pray that will work quick, fast, and all right, let's go ahead, gentlemen. Let's dope, note, and coat. So, Red, what's wrong with you today? What are you doping on?
Hold on, Red.
this week?
See, what am I doping on this week? Uh, I'm doping with the Vegas takeover of Atlanta sports fans. I mean, we got the Falcons in Vegas on Monday night. We got the Hawks in Vegas for today, for the NBA Cup, and we got lots of Falcons fans flying out. They were flying out yesterday. Some of them flying out this morning. And Vegas, you about to be infested with a horde of Atlanta sports fans. So big ups to the sports fans traveling across the country to support the Hawks and watch the Falcons embarrass themselves on Monday night. But hey, big ups to you. God bless you, because hey, not my money. That's all I have to say. But like I say, good. Thanks for representing for Atlanta. I'm sure Vegas is happy to have you. And like I say, enjoy the Hawks game tonight, and please, please don't do nothing crazy Monday night after we get embarrassed. Okay, just please contain yourselves. Don't nobody get locked up or nothing. Don't go to the casinos and start on your house and your kids' college future away because you pissed off with, because you mad with the Falcons, okay? So just control your emotions, enjoy your weekend, everybody have fun, and get back to Atlanta safe. But dope for all the Atlanta fans, Atlanta sports fans that's in Vegas this weekend. We taking over, baby.
Absolutely excellent.
Excuse me, Coach. What are you doping on?
The president took mine, but that's okay. I'll do it anyway. Hannah Hidalgo is trying to show everybody that Notre Dame is really the team to beat by her victory over the big-time Gino R.M. and UConn. He had 29 points and dished out, I forgot how many assists, but she's a catalyst, and people are saying Notre Dame is the team to beat this year. So Hannah Hidalgo gets my dope moment.
Awesome.
Real quickly, is there something that took place in Revenant Nation we don't know about? Because you called Vincent Woodruff the president, and he was the one who made that comment.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, I didn't know.
I thought it was what's his name? Mr. Tyrannosaurus Rex wrestling.
No, that's the president, but the vice president made that comment. So I didn't know if there was an election you would know about.
They changed up.
That's why we try not to copy each other dopes, Coach.
All right, Armani, since you got sound, what are you doping on?
Y'all know what time of year it is. It's time for the Army-Navy game. I love the Army-Navy game. Listen, both of these teams have done well this year. It's their first time in a long time that both teams are actually been relevant in college football. So I'm doping on the Army-Navy game today. I know it's at Army, but Navy, hey, come out and show them something. Show them something. We got to beat Army today, man.
Now, hold on. Army is the only team that's right. So where did Navy's relevance come from?
Well, they were ranked earlier this year.
Yeah, they were.
They were ranked earlier this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
They had gotten off to like a 5-0, 6-0 start.
Yeah, that's right.
They're 9-3. They're
Then they came back to reality.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, I'm doping on the NBA Cup. I'm not doping on any specific team, but I'm mainly doping on the concept of the NBA Cup because it gives teams that probably won't win an NBA championship some type of relevancy. Just like last year, it gave Indiana some level of relevancy as they lost to the Lakers in the championship. This year, it's highly unlikely that the Hawks or the Houston Rockets are going to win an NBA championship, but they're getting prime time in the spotlight in the NBA Cup because it's a one and done type tournament after you get through with the group play. So big ups to Adam Silver in the NBA for creating something that gives relevancy mostly to those teams who probably won't come close to winning the championship when it comes June. So that's my dope. Oh, yeah. All right, Coach, what are you noping
on? My note moment goes to ESPN or whoever decided to pull up footage from last year for Mark Gastineau coming to Brett Favre's ceremony, whatever he had, and going off on him about the sack record. And it made Gastineau look a little, I don't know what the word is, but it made him look bad. He comes out and fusses about one sack, and everybody puts it on TV, and ESPN knows they're showing that movie last night, the little 30 for 30, the Great Sack Exchange. And this is what you bring out from Mark Gastineau. It's kind of odd, but hey, all for ratings, I guess. Mark Gastineau, you get my note moment for that little tirade. That was pretty ridiculous.
Oh, come on!
Armani, what are you noping on, sir?
I'm gonna open on one Panthers wide receiver, Xavier Legette. Man, dude, you had it right in your hands, man. Bryce threw you a beautiful ball, man. Y'all could have had to tie the game or even took the lead, but come on, man, you got to catch those. It's right in your hands. It's right there. You got to catch them. You got to make those catches, man, because your team already struggling this year. And then y'all trying to go on a win streak, but you can't because you keep dropping pivotal passes. And you did the same thing in the Chiefs game. Come on, dude. You got to be better than that if you want to call yourself a number one receiver.
Wait a minute. Armani, he tried to explain it in that country voice.
No, I don't want to hear that. I see what he tried to do, but you got to catch those, dude.
Actually, it would have won the game had he caught it because they would have taken the lead. And I must admit, I'm kind of glad that he dropped it because then this city would have burned down in Philadelphia. Fucking Chester County, which include my members, would have had an epic meltdown, and church would have been real somber on tomorrow. So I got to thank Leggett for dropping that thing so that we can have some joy when we come to worship on tomorrow.
I get it.
This is definitely Eagles country. All right. Don't hammer me too much, Red, but I got to do this. Since I'm consistent about disrespecting logos and fields and courts, I got to give my no moment to Trae Young. Trae Young opening himself up to be badly bruised and battered the next time he goes to Madison Square Garden after he's shooting dice on the NBA, on the Knicks logo. Great job leading the Hawks this year. I admitted on Facebook that I was wrong about the DeJounte Murray trade. The Hawks did the best thing for Trae Young, surrounding him with long, athletic defenders, and now they find themselves in the Final Four of the NBA Cup. Big ups, but Trae, that's just what you did the other night in New York is like what these college teams are doing, planting flags on the home team's field. You can't do that and think you're going to keep walking out of gymnasiums. So be prepared for some major backlash, and that will be not verbal, but physical backlash the next time you come to New York. You better be thankful Anthony Mason or Charles Oakley play for the New York Knicks, because if they played, you wouldn't have walked out that gym that night.
Oh, come on!
Yeah, you can't do that.
Thankfully, Rev, they got softies like Karl Anthony Towns and others.
Yeah.
So Trae wasn't worried about those guys doing anything.
For sure. Now, he better watch out. I'm going to tell him who he need to watch out for next time. Because this guy's like a hatchet man. Even though his name sounds soft, he's not. Precious Achua.
Okay.
You want to watch out for him. Give us your note moment, Red.
Okay, Armani, I want to thank you because you made me change my note moment. I was gonna go with somebody else, but nah, I'm gonna keep it football like you did. My note moment goes to one Micah Parsons. Dude, I am so sick and tired of this guy, this ringless, no winning guy who just keep thinking he just wasn't the greatest defensive player that ever played. Dude, you haven't won a doggone thing. You ain't do nothing when playoff time comes. Yeah, you started your season pretty nice. You get some sacks. Woo-hoo, big deal. When the big games come and the bright lights come, you are nowhere to be found. Now this season, you're injury prone. And dude, every time that something happened to your team, you walking off the field, poking out your lips, making all kind of gestures like you just the greatest defensive player that ever played, and you not. So get it through your thick head, Michael Parsons. You are part of the reasons the Cowboys are losing, okay? Stop trying to separate yourself from the pack like you don't have nothing to do with that, okay? You were right there when y'all won 12 games, 3 seasons in a row, and then do in the playoffs, okay? Then do in the playoffs, okay? So please spare me all your emotions, spare me all your podcast tirades, just spare me all of it, dude. Because I don't feel sorry for you at all, and I don't sympathize with you at all. You are part of the reason. You right there with them losers. So stop trying to separate yourself from the Cowboys and they're losing, okay? Because you're right there with them. As a matter of fact, you a big part of it. So you, Michael Parsons, done.
No!
Man.
All right, so Red has spoken his piece, and we're gonna move on. As he oh no, we can't move on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we get more.
We got Coach. I thought that was the end of the segment, the way he preached.
That's just a note part.
I got you. I'll start with Armani. Armani, what are you coping with, man?
I'm coupled with the fact that Joel Embiid is dealing with yet another injury. It just seems like it don't stop. When it rains, it pours. On top of that, we lost to the Pacers. I mean, at this point, like I've been saying, it's just time, man. It's time to move on. I'm tired of this. Every time I turn around, Joel Embiid is hurt, somebody's hurt, and then the 76ers keep stockpiling our roster with people that are hurt. Listen, it's time. Just let it go after this year. Philly fans be tired of it. The good doctor / Reverend didn't even renew his season tickets because he saw what was inevitable for the 76ers. We got to do better, y'all. It's time to just start over.
Wow.
Armani, I think you need to go on the piano and do a song about Joel Embiid.
I mean, it's getting bad. Every time I look around and turn on ESPN, he dealing with this injury, that injury, that injury. It's getting redundant at this point. It's just time.
The patience is running thin for Joel Embiid. If you just go to X and put his name in the search, you'll see all types of derogatory comments here toward Joel Embiid. If you want a good laugh or you want to see how serious what Armani just said, go to X and put his name in the search and you'll see it. It's on me. I'm coping with the fact that the Lakers do not have to be on this losing streak because their secret weapon is in the G League.
You need to stop this. You really need to stop this.
I mean, goodness gracious.
Doc,
Did y'all see the career high this past week? Why are the Lakers unnecessarily struggling? Their secret weapon that they drafted just dropped 30 points in a G League game. He's ready. He's ready to do what his dad can no longer do. He's ready to be Anthony Davis's Robin. So stop denying the man his just due from being on an NBA roster and pull him up from the G League so he can stop the hemorrhaging that is going on with Red Los Angeles Lakers. So let Bronny play. Let Bronny play.
You ain't, man.
The hemorrhaging.
Rev, you.
Rev, you starting to sound like me with these little brother shots.
Come on, Rev. Come on, good doctor. We gotta stop this now.
Oh man, be quiet. This is funny, man. What are you talking about? Come on. It's hilarious. I was wondering where Rev was going with this, but yeah, this is.
I knew he was going over somewhere between the note moment and the coat moment. I knew he was gonna go there.
And tell me this, Rev. Why do they keep highlighting his performances? When they keep losing, they losing both of these games that they highlight, but they just want to talk about Bronny scoring 30 and Bronny playing okay the other night, last night. Oh, they lost both games.
Yeah.
He had like Brandon went out there and led him to victory or something.
Go ahead, Red, with your coat moment.
And I ain't gonna lie, Rev. I was gonna cope with LeBron, but after that, right there, man, that's enough Lakers for the day. But Rev is right, man. The Lakers, y'all got to do something. I guess I'll cope with even though I'm right with Rev coping with my Lakers and these absences from LeBron and I don't know what, man. This is just another crazy season, man, in Laker Nation. And yeah, Laker Nation gonna be coping for a while, but we'll have plenty of time to get into that. I'm gonna cope with Mr. Best Basketball Player in the country choosing boring old BYU. You get our hopes up. You set us all in attention to make that announcement that you going to BYU. Are you freaking kidding me? Dude, you could have made that announcement in the morning sometime. You could have released that on your internet page or something, emailed us or something, because that show was not a Sports Center appearance worthy announcement. That was not a press conference worthy announcement, man. That was like a text message announcement or something like, hey, y'all, I'm going to BYU. Thanks, because, dude, we could care less about some doggone BYU that none of us gonna probably see you play in. Half of us gonna be asleep when you playing in your games late at night, man. I don't even know what conference BYU is in. Honestly, I didn't even know BYU had a basketball team. I knew they had a football team, but I didn't even know they had a basketball team. So personally, I thought you were just gonna be out there playing by yourself. You and maybe like 4 more Euro guys they pulled from the G Club or Glee Club or something. But honestly, dude, I have no idea why you chose BYU. I don't know who advised you to choose BYU. And your dad coming on and talking about you need to work on your rebounds. Then why did you send him to BYU? Pops, why you tell him to go BYU if you need to work on his rebounds? You need to go to another school like Duke, North Carolina, Alabama, Tennessee, one of these big-time schools. He ain't going to learn nothing about his rebounds at BYU because he's going to be tall over everybody. He ain't going to have no choice but to grab the rebound. Ain't nobody else going to be bigger than him at BYU. He is the biggest thing at BYU because he is the only thing at BYU, okay? So thank you, Mr. Whatever. I can't even pronounce your name, dude, but whatever your name is, #1 basketball guy in the country, thank you for putting us to sleep with that boring announcement, okay? God.
Yeah, I'm not going to go as far as Red went, but let's just say the announcement was underwhelming. To be on First Take, sitting there with Stephen A., Shannon, and you think he's going to go to Kansas because that was one of his options. And the dude said BYU. Now, I get it. They promised him all kind of millions of dollars and other things. But for basketball relevancy, BYU is not the spot unless he's going to do what Larry Bird did for Indiana State and win them a national championship. So that's the only way it makes a lot of sense if he can win them a national championship. All right, Coach, close us out, man. What you got for us with your coat moment?
My coat moment goes to Randy Moss, who made the announcement that he seemed to have successfully defeated cancer, even though he had to cope with a lot of treatments and things he had to do, chemotherapy. He still got to do all that, but he seems to have defeated after he said a 6-hour surgery. So I'm coping with him to have a successful life and hopefully he can put it in remission and won't have to worry about it anymore. So my coat moment goes to Randy Moss.
All righty. We're going to move on as Coach finishes up our coat moment. Let's see what Reverend Nation is talking about. It looks like the chat is on fire. So let's see what they're talking about on today. And it's good to see the Coach's Corner.
Oh, yeah. And Larry from the Dixon Way said you might stop by and pay you a visit too. He kind of interested on your thoughts about the Hawks now.
Okay. All right. Let's see. The V, we already did that one. Armani suffering from those upcoming military budgets.
No
Oh,
comment.
God.
I can't. Yeah.
Nando, what's up? He's doping on the fact that Caitlin Clark has the feminist WNBA panties in a wad about her being Times Female Athlete of the Year. Yeah, they upset.
What? I don't know what you talking about.
Nando also is doping that his Falcons won't win on Monday. Wow. The president is doping on the Hawks are on a bit of an upswing. Can it be consistent? That's a good question. Nando's coping that his Aladdin Falcons are straight trash. Landfill of a product on the field this season. Now that you've catfished this fan base talking about an open window, man, we are a bunch of nothing. Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, no. You sound like me, man.
The president is doping on the Mets deal to Soto.
Oh,
The coach is going to doping on Sister Fawali, has led South Carolina to number 3. I thought you were going to dope on that Texas. Oh, they didn't win. My bad.
Mm-hmm. No. Tell him the truth. Tell him the truth.
They took that L, bro. I'm glad to see you, Coach McCoy. They took that L for the second time.
Might be a third time, really.
Might be, yeah.
The president's noping on the 49ers player that refused to come off the bench for a game. And guess what, Mr. President? Brother Campbell was drafted by the Falcons. He was on that Falcons team that went to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Rev, don't remind us, man.
He was actually good when he played for the Falcons.
Yeah, he was. That's right. So, yeah, we're not responsible for his regression now. You blame Kyle Shanahan for that.
Yeah, for sure. The president's doping on awesome win by the Georgia Bulldogs last week. I wonder if the coach's corner sharing that dope with you, Mr. President. But that hit Carson Beck to whoa, yeah, that might end his career, bro. That was a tough hit, man.
Yeah, it was.
It was a blessing in disguise for UGA though, because I don't think they win that game if Carson Beck comes out there in the second half. Because Gunnar Stockton brought that energy with those legs, but we'll talk about it. The coach's corner open on all these people happy because Bronny scored 30 in the G League. Amen to that. He's also coping with the NBA script yet again, ruining the great one, Curry shine by calling the never called before out in the game. That was pretty bad. Maurice Thor, good morning to you, sir. Appreciate you. The president's coping with if the Falcons lose on Monday, Raheem's dream will become a nightmare. It will be nice knowing you.
Yeah, this is.
Are you smelling that, Mr. President? Jerome Case doping on Travis Hunter versus everybody. Nope, Alabama fans crying about not making the playoffs. Kurt mid-grade cousins. The VP said, Passtown still trying to get their credits back on those pastoral season tickets. Talking about those Sixers tickets. Maurice Thor doping on Cam Ward and Shador Sanders winning the Davey O'Brien and Johnny Unitas Awards. The coach's corner says also from coach to coach dope that the Kings of Tobacco Road are in the top 10 and the Bum Hills are trash.
Yeah, they'll be suffering in the tournament. It don't matter. We in now.
VP just said Bronny earning MVP status in the G League. Jerome Case said I need Rev to repent for his Bronny segment. Maurice Thrower is noping to the process of the 76ers. Time for a change. The VP, the basketball prophet, is saying that the Lakers will be saved by a Messiah. Could it be Bronny born to the non-virgins?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, Lord. As you would put, LeBron James enters the chat. Keep your wife's name out your mouth. The president's coping. If the pastoring thing don't work out, Rev can be a sports comedian. To watch him try to do that with a straight face was epic.
Yeah, Rev, that was one of your best takes right there.
The president's coping with Ben Simmons is the Ray J of the NBA. We don't know how he does it, but he keeps finding work. Lord have mercy.
And keep finding women, too.
For sure. Maurice Thrower, the prime minister's coping to Travis Hunter. Let that woman go before it's too late. Too many red flags with her. And isn't it true that Prime said, make sure He's get the prenup signed.
Man, y'all leave that boy alone.
Yeah,
Let him mind his own business.
He went off on somebody telling him to do that.
Koji, you said mind the business.
Yeah, let everybody leave that young man alone. If he makes a mistake, he makes a mistake. If he doesn't, he doesn't.
Well, the problem is, Coach. The problem is, Coach, he'll make $1 million mistake. That's a different kind of mistake.
Yeah.
that ain't a mistake like,
Right.
you know, that's a mistake that can really ruin his life, ruin his family legacy, ruin his future. So I can understand why folk are trying to bring to his attention the red flags. I've been a divorcee. Thank God I didn't have nowhere near the money that Hunter, and I know some folk who've been divorced, who've been taken to the cleaners.
Yep.
So in this one, when you see the red flags and you see that she obviously got his mind playing tricks on him, I can understand why someone said, hey, man, watch yourself. So if it does happen, and if she does seem to be bad, he can say to nobody, he can't say that nobody wants
it. Exactly.
Yep.
But let's leave him alone.
So I have to disagree with that technique. Let's see where we left off. The coach's corner says him going to UNC is just as bad as BYU. And he really mad. He really don't like UNC. Who's his college team, right?
Duke.
Either what?
He a Duke fan.
Oh, okay. I got you. All right. I now see why the UNC 8 for sure. Get that money, young man. Jerome Case, the coach's corner. When you leave 6 points on the field, we beat ourselves. So he's reminiscing about that Texas loss. Alexis Hill, Texas should have won. They choked the game away. I guess you have to play a perfect game to beat UGA.
Well, I guess so. Well, we don't want to hear no excuses now, so save it.
If Travis Hunter married that thought, it'll cost him. It'll cost him $15 million.
Well, Nando, you on the road today, man. I gotta give it to you, boy. You woke up crunk today, man.
The president says, see Russell Wilson's first wife as an example. All right. Appreciate you, Reverend Night Nation, giving us some extra laughs and also some extra food. Let's move on, gentlemen. We see that the college playoff has been determined. I forgot to put the graphic up and download it, but nevertheless, the playoffs have been decided. The 4 byes, Oregon, who won the Big Ten championship, Georgia, who won the SEC championship, coming up at number 2, Arizona State, coming in at 4, won the Big 12 championship, and Boise State won their league, and they were the biggest non-Power 5 conference champion, so they got the 3rd slot. Coming in with the first round game is Texas, who lost the SEC championship game to Georgia. That just sounded good. I had to put that out there. They play Clemson in the first round, who pulled up the upset, becoming the ACC champion, beating SMU. Also in the first round, you got Ohio State playing Tennessee in the 8-9 matchup. You got Penn State, James Franklin, who's never won a big game, playing against the ACC loser, SMU. And then you got the 7-10 matchup between Notre Dame and Indiana. What about this college playoff has maybe triggered your interest? We know Armani does not see his team listed because he would be normally calling it the Alabama Invitational, but it's interesting how Alabama didn't get invited to his own invitational. So we see that it is highly appropriate for people to play to the Alabama Crimson Tide, Sweet Home Alabama, because that's where they'll be.
Oh, God.
Sweet Home Alabama.
I knew
Nevertheless,
you was going there.
what is drawing your interest? What matchups are you looking forward to see? And even if you want to go out there and name, let's just say your final four at this juncture, your final four, because we still got a few more weeks before we declare a champion. So who wants at it first?
I guess I'll go at it. I'm kind of happy
Go Red.
how things worked out. I'll admit I really didn't want my team playing in the SEC championship, but it is what it is. We won. A lot of teams lost, and Georgia won. So hey, we got to represent, and represent we did. Now I give Coach credit. His Texas team gave us a fight, and it took us to overtime to beat them this week. Whereas last time we beat them, we just took care of them early in the game. I mean, that thing was over by halftime. Texas didn't have a chance. At the soccer, he was already. Oh, let me stop. But yeah, Texas actually gave us a game this time, and Georgia represented in the end. But Texas has nothing to be ashamed of. They played good in the SEC this year. I mean, to go 11-2, I think so. Me and Georgia, us and Texas finished with the same 11-2 record. But to go 11-2 in your first SEC experience, that's not bad, Coach. So you do got something to be proud of. But when you look at us winning the number 2 seed, Real, I'm kind of happy at the side of the bracket that my Bulldogs are on. And Texas, you better be ready for your bracket, man. But Real, when you look at Georgia, really has to play either Indiana or Notre Dame, and from that SMU and Penn State. I mean, and then I think we got Boise State as the other bye team in the side with us. Man, UGA couldn't ask for a better side of the bracket, because really, Rev, tell me what team you worried about in this bracket. SMU, Penn State, Boise State, Indiana. Notre Dame might be the one team that might give us a challenge, but the rest of these teams, man, I would have loved to have played them in the regular season. So I'm happy the way it turned out for UGA, and I hope they don't blow it, because they got an awesome chance to win a third ring in 4 years if they just take care of their business. But I'm happy how the college football playoffs turned out. You got a lot of big programs in it. It's a lot of big teams are represented. Sure, Alabama didn't get in, and I think they deserve to have got in over SMU the way SMU performed against Clemson. I ain't gonna lie. When they gave Armani, when they gave up that kickoff to let Clemson beat them, to me that was it. They should have been out, man. No, man, because they was getting they beat by stupid stuff in that game, and to me, Alabama is the better team over SMU. But let me thank the football gods, because had Alabama made it, you would have been on the bracket with us, and we probably would have to play y'all to get to the championship. And you know it, and I bet you would just sit there saying, come on, because we're going to be in that same bracket with Georgia. Yeah, but I know you was ready to celebrate. But thank you. We can escape y'all this year, because, boy, y'all was ready to hate on us again, boy. But like I say, I'm kind of happy how things turned out, with the exception of Alabama not being in it, because they should have put them in the other side, though. But yeah, we got a lot of nice schools represented. I think the college football playoffs looks to be a success with all the different teams you got represented this year. So big ups to UGA for getting the seed that they have, and big ups for a lot of these programs for getting some of the recognition and getting in, like Indiana. Nobody thought Indiana would be in there, and you still got a lot of represent Arizona State. Even Arizona State got a bye. I mean, whoever would have thought that? So I mean, I'm liking so far how the college football playoffs have turned out. Now moving on to somebody else.
All right, Red made mention of how the bracket looked. I was able to download it. Here's what it looks like. And there's what it looks like. So Red made mention of Georgia seeming to have the easier side of the bracket. For if you look at, you got Texas, Ohio State, Oregon, and Tennessee all having to play together and play against each other, rather, to get to the national championship. As you look at the bracket, Red, just from your perspective, who do you think is the biggest threat to Georgia on that side of the bracket?
On the side that we're on?
Yeah.
Right now, Rev, I would say maybe Notre Dame or Penn State, but judging how James Franklin play in big games, I mean, that would be a big game versus Georgia. So usually he come up short. Notre Dame, but well, besides that Northern Illinois game, they've been playing pretty solid. Oh yeah, Indiana, I don't think they ready at all for us. They ain't played nobody. They little run didn't impress me at all because they didn't play anybody. So you think you ready for us, Indiana? Come on and upset Notre Dame. We'll be ready for you. But Notre Dame and Penn State, to me, probably would give us the biggest challenge.
Last question, and I'll move on to Coach. Do you think Georgia is in better shape with Gunnar Stockton than they would have been with Carson Beck?
Now that's a real good question, Rev, because we saw how the momentum changed when Gunnar Stockton entered the game, but realistically, and I'm just being honest with you, I don't think Gunnar Stockton is a better overall quarterback than Carson Beck. But can he do some things that Carson Beck can't do? I think he's more mobile than Carson Beck. I think he's probably less likely to turn the football over than Carson Beck because he's probably not going to take too many chances. They're probably not going to give him too many opportunities to throw the ball. Whereas they let they gave Carson Beck a lot of freedom. I don't think they would give Gunnar Stockton the same freedom. I think they would probably treat him more as a game manager than, somebody that's actually trying to win the game or go out there with a lot of freedom like Carson Beck. So, that's a good question. That's a real good question. Do I think we in better shape with Gunnar Stockton over Carson Beck? Rev, I might have to say yes, probably because of the turnover factor. Because I know Carson Beck probably feels like he has to do a little bit more sometimes, whereas Gunnar Stockton, he might just go out there, use his running backs, follow whatever plan Mike Bobo tell him, and I don't think he'd throw the ball in harm's way. Like, cause I don't think he'd try to force things. I don't think if he saw 2 or 3 defenders right there, he'd still throw the ball. I think, honestly, he would throw the ball. He wouldn't even throw the ball unless it's something wide open. Something that was set up wide open for him. He might just tuck it himself and run with it. Because he seemed to be somebody that mostly run first, then pass first. Like that first down he got when he got popped and we thought he had a concussion. Carson Beck would probably stood up there and threw that ball into an interception or something. Whereas Gunnar Stockton said, nope, I don't have it. I'm just going to take off with it. And he got the first down too. So I think Gunnar Stockton is probably would take less chances with the football than Carson Beck. Carson Beck trying to prove himself. He's trying to prove himself to be a first-round pick. He's trying to prove himself to be a Heisman Trophy candidate. He's trying to prove himself to be the number 1 quarterback in the country. Gunnar Stockton ain't trying to do all that. He's just trying to win the game.
All right, Jerome K says Beck offers more playbook options for UGA. Maurice Thrower says you never know, Red. Stockton might pull a Jeff Hostetler and lead the team to the national championship.
I mean, I still think he can lead us. Yeah, just not I think he more can lead us in a game manager role, Maurice, than a quarterback who has to do it all or a playmaker role is what I'm saying.
All right, Winston says Beck allows the full playbook. Stockton isn't going to be given that leeway unless Georgia gets in a situation where they absolutely have to have it. The coach's corner says he was a momentum shift because we didn't prepare for him at all. No one knew he would hit the field, and even though you should prepare for everyone. Coach, your thoughts about the bracket, the playoff bracket, any particular thoughts about any team? Who do you see doing some damage?
You're on mute, Coach.
Put me on mute. Now,
go ahead.
You're looking at people are really forgetting about Oregon. They're the most disrespected number 1 team in the country. Nobody's really talked about them winning anything. Nobody thinks they have a chance to win. I think they got a chance to do it all.
That's his team right there. Winston think they got a chance to win.
I'm talking about
Let him talk, Red. Let him talk, Red. Red, let him talk.
I'm talking about
let him talk, Red. Let him get his thoughts out.
The national media is not really putting in a lot of thought into Oregon. They going with everybody, a lot of other teams, but you know, I think Oregon could win it. And as far as down at the bottom part of the bracket, Notre Dame can absolutely come out of the bottom because the last two games for Georgia, they have come out flat in the first half against two teams, even though they came back and won. But I don't know if you can keep doing that and win a national championship, especially now with Gunnar Stockton as your quarterback. I don't think you can keep getting behind double-digit leads and then folks say, "Oh, we can turn it on in the second half." You don't have Beck at quarterback; he's not going to play. So you're looking at if Notre Dame can do that, like Georgia Tech and Texas have done, then Notre Dame could hold off Georgia. They could. It's going to be to see if Gunnar Stockton is able to command the comebacks like Beck did when he came back and they won the game. Indiana, no. SMU, no. Boise is playing with house money because nobody expects them to do anything. So they playing with house money with the running back Genty. Same thing with Arizona State and Scatterboo. Nobody thinks they're going to do anything. They just out there playing with house money. So you're looking at three teams. I say Oregon, Georgia, and Notre Dame who could possibly win the whole thing.
All right, I'm going to come back to you right quick, Coach. I got a question for you.
Okay.
Alexis Hill said Notre Dame can beat UGA if they play their game. Winston says Ducks going to win it all. Everyone else playing for second place. Nando says all the damage has been done. This 12-team bracket is Georgia's to lose themselves. I don't see them losing. The Dixon Way says, good morning, fellas. Go Dogs. This is a perfect bracket for our team. The Dogs can win the championship off defense with this bracket. Hey, Rev, how you like my point guard now? I'll just say, thank God he got some defenders who are athletic around him. And now he's not a defensive liability or as much of a defensive liability. And he's playing good ball. And I did apologize earlier that I was wrong about the DeJounte Murray trade. So we're talking college football. We'll get to basketball later on. But, Coach, here's my question to you, bro. Do you think with Gunnar Stockton's ability – so we're talking college football. Sorry about that. Do you think with Gunnar Stockton's ability to be able to run the ball, which means that he provides the option to pass and run, will that help Georgia avoid slow starts?
It could, but do you remember now, he took a vicious hit in that game. It scrambled his brain for a minute. I don't know if that's a mental thing to stop him from running. It probably won't be by this time. They'll have 3 weeks to get ready. It probably won't be a mental thing, but yeah, that dimension does help. But you're looking at Notre Dame, who has one of the best defensive backs in the entire college football, the All-American. So it like I said, it depends on getting out. If Georgia jumps out, then hey, it's a done deal. Notre Dame can come back, but ain't no guarantee. But I don't know if Georgia wants to keep that trend going of starting slow and ending strong. I don't know if that's going to hold up toward the national championship game. You want to try to jump out on somebody and let them know they ain't got a chance to come back. That's when your defense becomes more prevalent to winning the game, because if they jump out, it's going to be hard for any team, Notre Dame, Indiana, whoever they play, to try to come back on them. So the start is going to be the key.
All right, sweet college playoff home, Alabama. What's your thoughts?
I'm out
He's talking to you all, buddy.
He's frozen. He must have some sound issues and some.
Armani. Can you hear?
All right.
Y'all hear me now?
Okay, man.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, I'm in the
I
blender.
was asking sweet college playoff home, Alabama. Here's my question to you. Sweet college. Sweet college playoff home, Alabama. What are your thoughts about the tournament that Alabama's not going to be in?
I mean, I know fans like you are happy. You know, they don't have to see us. So with those comments, I understand it. Hey, because everybody knows if Alabama gets into the playoff, I mean, you know, it's just a new season for us. But anyway, I mean, I'll go back to Jerome's comments where he said, you know, Bama fans are mad. Not that I could see.
Hold on, man. Hold on, right quick, Armani. Hold on. I just wanted to play this underneath your comments.
So,
go ahead.
Yeah, you gotta keep that playing while buddy giving his comments.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you can't lose the Vanderbilt and Oklahoma and expect to get into the playoff. I mean, had we got in, I think we would have gotten far. I don't think we would have won a championship, but I think we would have gotten far. But you can't lose to teams like that and expect to get into the playoffs. And Kellen DeBoer, I'm gonna give you some leeway because this is your first year in the SEC. You went 9-3. You missed the.
Hold on, Armani. This segment is about teams that will be playing in the playoffs.
See, here we go.
But you just asked me.
I just called you. What are your thoughts about the playoffs? Sweet college football playoff home Alabama. I ain't say nothing about giving me your critique about it. We talking about teams that are actually going to be playing.
You asked me the question about it.
I just called you sweet college playoff football home Alabama. I ain't say nothing about give us your commentary about Alabama.
That's your nickname, Armani. He asking you about the college playoff.
No, okay. Anyway,
we don't need to hear nothing about. DeBoer. We don't need to hear nothing about Alabama losing to Vanderbilt, Oklahoma. We don't need to hear none of that. Let me show you the bracket to let you know who's playing again. Let me show you the bracket to remind you who's playing again.
You gotta talk about those. You gotta talk about those teams, Armani.
Oh, he blacked out.
I wonder why. He'll be
his
back once
signal it conveniently got weak this week when Alabama not in the tournament. But anyway, let's go see what Reverend Nate shall say before I come in with any comments. All right, here we go. Try it again. You good, man?
I don't know. Everybody's in the blender except me. I can hear you.
All right, we can see you, man. Go ahead and give us comments. Let me give you the teams who are playing. Let me remind you who's playing. There you go. Comments about those teams. Nobody from Tuscaloosa. Okay.
Yeah,
Rev, you can't ask me to give you my thoughts on something and then cut me off in the middle of it and then ask me another. I mean, come on, man.
Red, hold on. Tell me, Armani. Red, will you help this young man, Coach? Will you help this young man? Let him understand I gave him a nickname, not to talk about Alabama, but Alabama was in your nickname.
Yeah, he called you.
Rewind the tape after the show and you'll see what we're
talking about.
Armani.
He didn't say Armani College Sweet Home Alabama. Talk about Alabama. He said Armani College Sweet Home Alabama. Talk about the college playoffs.
Who gonna win? Who gonna win the tournament, Armani? Simple as that. Who gonna win the tournament?
Okay, again, y'all in the blender. I'm trying to get an understanding of the questions y'all asked. But anyway, I think it's gonna be Georgia, Oregon, Ohio State, or No, I'm not gonna say Tennessee because they too inconsistent. I think it's gonna be the Georgia, Oregon, or Texas. I think Georgia, what's going to hurt them is their quarterback situation because Gunnar Stockton, I mean, he has athletic ability, but I don't think that's going to take them so far. I think that's what's going to hurt them. And I think the only complete team that I can see right now that's playing essentially is Oregon. So I honestly think Oregon's going to be your championship winner, but if not Oregon, then I got either Georgia or Texas. I think Texas could win it, but Sark getting in his own way. I think some of his play calling can be questionable at times, but he's going to have to get out of his own head and just play his game. I think Sark does a lot to try and make the play calls make the play calls complex instead of just sticking to what works. So with that being said, those are going to be your teams that are going to actually compete for the national championship. I mean, the first round is going to be a wash. I think that Ohio State is going to bulldoze Tennessee. I think SMU is going to get bulldozed. So, those are your final four for the college football playoff championship. But I think all in all, Oregon's going to be a championship winner.
All right, Alexis Hill said Oregon got screwed in their bracket, so they are being disrespected. Nando says Bama didn't deserve to be in this 12. They were average. The Dixon Way said, Rev, a troll, I'm here for it. The Coach's Corner said, don't get striked by playing that. Okay, there it is. Don't get striked by playing that. Jerome K. said he's in his Bama feelings. Maurice Thrower says James Franklin is the Marty Schottenheimer of college football. You got to prove it on the field after being thrown a bone by the CFP. Great analogy. The Dixon Way said, not Texas. Maurice Thrower said, come on, Rev, let Armani cook. I can't have him cook about a team that's not playing. Come on, man. Dixon Way said, y'all not going to make it. He said, I like my steak medium rare. Coach said, you can't beat Bevo this time. We always eat steak, though, at Coach's Corner. And Jerome said, Armani,
Georgia, Alabama.
Armani, you want to tune in for this? Jerome said, your hearing is like his spelling.
I can hear fine. I'm in the blender.
All right, so I'm going to just give I'm gonna get my 2 cents. I think actually Georgia's better off. I mean, we talk about Georgia being in a bind with Gunnar Stockton. How much more can you be in a bind after playing 3 games when your quarterback threw 3 interceptions? I mean, come on. And you still come out victorious in 2 of those 3 games. So I think Georgia's really in a better place because with Gunnar Stockton's ability to run the ball, that opens things up more for their wide receivers. You saw the receivers playing more comfortably and more confidently because Gunnar Stockton is able to move. So with his ability to move, the DBs, the safeties have to be aware about his ability to run, so they have to loosen up their coverage on the wide receivers. And with Georgia not having studs at wide receiver, that allows them to have easier routes to run because they won't be hounded by the defenders because they got to watch Gunnar Stockton, who's not a sitting duck in the pocket like Carson Beck. So what Georgia loses in Carson Beck is experience, but what they gain is somebody who's a dual threat. And in this college game, you rather have a dual threat than somebody who has experience, but the experience hadn't really manifested to a great offense because he's been throwing interceptions, playing more for the other team at times than he was playing for his own team. So this is why I think Georgia is in better shape with Gunnar Stockton than they are with Carson Beck. I think Texas is going to be in trouble if they're going to have to play Oregon to get out that side because I think Oregon can out-physical Texas. I think the problem with Texas when they play against Georgia is they're not as physical than Georgia. In order to beat an Oregon team, Dan Lannon took a page out of the Georgia playbook in building his roster. He got a team that's physical. And you got to be physical in order to beat Oregon. And I'm not sure if Texas is a physical team that can play with the likes of Oregon. I would say, Red, on that bottom end where Georgia is, their biggest threat to me is Boise State. Even though Boise State has not played the caliber of teams that the other teams in the playoff have played, or most of them, Boise State, we got to remember early on this season, played Oregon tough. And they are nothing to turn your nose up turn your nose up at. So I think Boise with that running game and they're physical, they could pose a problem for Georgia. And to Coach's point, if Georgia gets down to a team like Boise, it can be very problematic because they have a strong running game, and then it all becomes a clock game if their running game gets going, where they can diminish the amount of opportunities Georgia may have to try to get back in the game. So I think Boise may pose the best threat to Georgia because they have a strong running game.
Okay, Rev.
Any closing comments?
Rev.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna bring to you a point that somebody said, and I just want to see your reaction to it. They said that if Ashton Jeanty played against teams in the SEC, he couldn't run. Now that's gonna be tested if they play Georgia. How you think he would do against Georgia?
I think he'll get his because he's a talented running back. Do I think he'll get to the tune of 200 plus yards? Probably not. Probably not. And then also, because I haven't watched Boise play that much, it's difficult for me to say definitively anything because I don't know how good the quarterback and the wide receivers are. If they load up the box, that means they're taking Jeanty away. Is their quarterback good enough to be able to throw Georgia out of putting 8 men in the box? That's the question. If he's not good enough, then they're going to struggle. And Jeanty won't get here. So it's all based upon the quarterback. Now that Boise State's playing, will be playing a higher caliber of a team. And who they got in the second round? I think they'll beat either Penn State or SMU. So those teams won't be as much of a problem. But I think, it's going to be all based on that quarterback. And if he can sling it, then Boise State got a good chance to, possibly pull up the upset against Georgia. But I think Georgia has a better chance of winning now they got Gunnar Stockton because they have two avenues to be able to get yardage on offense, either running or passing. And that's what you need when you don't have the likes of a Brock Bowers, McConkey, who can make plays on their own and get open to make it easy on the quarterback.
Yeah, that quarterback, he's thrown for 2,700 yards, 22 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, so mid-range.
Yeah, and we got also, we can't shout hallelujah about that because they've been playing lesser talent. If you could, since you looked it up, see what he did against Oregon when they played Oregon early.
Okay.
That would be interesting to see what he did. As Coach is pulling that up, and we'll come back to you, we got the Heisman Trophy being awarded tonight before we go to halftime. Let's talk about that. And we see that there are 4 candidates who are finalists. We got Travis Hunter, of course, the receiver cornerback, Colorado, Georgia State, Ashton Jeanty, Oregon quarterback Dylan Gabriel, and Miami quarterback Cam Ward. Coach, did you get those stats yet?
Yeah, Madsen threw 17 out of 40 for 148 yards.
Yeah, that's problematic.
but Jeanty had 25 carries for 192 yards, so that's what they leaned on, I guess.
Yeah, they leaned on it for sure because the quarterback wasn't doing much. But that was early on the season, so he could have developed. With that being said, Coach, who's your Heisman Trophy winner tonight?
I'm leaning toward Hunter because he's a dual threat, plays both sides. But Jeanty had 2,700 yards rushing. That's a whole lot of yards on the ground, and that's not nothing to sneeze at. So Dylan Gabriel, unfortunately, is just there to fill the seat. They need somebody to put in a seat. That's why he's there, and he's with the number 1 team in the country. And Cam Ward, even though he had a great season, he struggled them down the stretch and didn't get those wins. So I'm gonna go with Hunter. I say Hunter by maybe 20 votes.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna come back to Red and Armani. Maurice Thor said, Rev. Georgia's wide receiver needs to stop with the drops for them to have a legit chance to win. Otherwise, I'm curious to see what Oregon you do. You did see that they didn't have as many drops once Gunnar Stockton got into the game. Just point of reference. Also, he says, wait a minute, Rev. If SMU makes it to the second round, there'll be a problem. Don't sleep on the Mustangs. And my response to you, Bro Maurice, is I'm sleeping. I'm snoring. I just saw them lose to Clemson. I'm not concerned. All right. Jerome said Oregon will lose to OSU.
No.
Jerome says Shador was totally disrespected and should have been a candidate. The team ranking shouldn't be a factor. Red, who's your whole Heisman hopeful?
I'm with Coach and Travis Hunter. I mean, the kid was a dual threat on both sides of the ball all year. I think he just won the national trophy for Defensive Player of the Year, or either Outstanding Player of the Year, one of them. I know he just won some type of award. And like I say, he's been living up to expectations all year long, with the exception of his red flag girlfriend. I really don't see any negative that he bought to anything all year long. So, like I say, Dylan Gabriel, did okay, but I don't really think he's a Heisman candidate. Boise State running back Ashton Gentry, pretty good candidate. Cam Ward, Miami lost big games, so that probably hurt his chances a little bit. So I think it will be between Travis and Boise State running back, and I'm gonna go with Travis Hunter.
All right. Armani, are you gonna stake this time, man? While we got you, who's your Heisman Trophy hopeful?
Yeah, I think it's also Travis Hunter. I mean, when you got somebody to performing like him on both sides of the ball, I mean, it's hard to deny. I get that Gentry played outstanding this year. I mean, he's one of the best players in the country, but Travis Hunter can do both, and I think that's what's going to put him over the edge. He can play offense and defense and be impactful. So I think that Hunter's going to be your Heisman Trophy winner.
All right, Maurice Thor said, I think it's Travis Hunter's to lose. However, I'll hang on to the glimmer of hope for my fellow Hurricane Cam Ward. And that's a very, 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 very small glimmer that you want to. So keep hope alive. That's all you got right now is hope. But I don't think he's going to win. I'm going with the president, Travis Hunter, and the runaway. Only way he doesn't win is because folk hating on Coach Prime. That's the only way he doesn't win. Nobody has done what Travis Hunter has done. Even when Desmond Howard won the Heisman Trophy, he did not do it to the level, playing both sides of the ball, as Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter is a dog on both sides of the ball. So it would be really a travesty if Travis does not win the Heisman Trophy, because hands down, he's the best player. All of these guys really have just gone to New York for a trip, but none of them should be leaving with any hardware besides Travis Hunter. Real quick question, going back to Jerome Case's point. Was Shador Sanders rightfully omitted from being a Heisman finalist?
Nope. Nope, because it's just what you just said. It's that prime bias. You don't want, I mean, everybody's saying Travis Hunter, why they saying why is Shador even there? You know, he put up some numbers, but they're gonna say, why would he be there if Travis is gonna get it? Why? And I'd say the same reason that Dylan Gabriel's there, because he's not gonna win. Even if Shador don't win, he should have been represented because he had a better season than last year, and they went 9-3. So yeah, he was snubbed.
So who should he have replaced, Coach?
He didn't have to replace. They should have been 5. It's been 5 before. He didn't have to replace anybody. They gave him another seat. Simple as that. They didn't have to replace anybody.
All right, now since there were only 4, Coach, Since there were only 4, whose spot you believe he should have taken out of the 4?
Cam Ward.
No, Ward had the better numbers. I'd say Gabriel. And then Gabriel is there because he's with the number 1 team in the country. But his numbers were not as equal to Shadur Sanders as anything else. Gabriel was there because he had the number 1 team in the country pretty much. So if he replaced anybody, he replaced Gabriel.
Now, Armani, you said Cam Ward. Why should he have replaced Cam Ward?
I mean, because I think Cam Ward, he's had some great games, but for me, this is my personal opinion. If you can't, when you're a quarterback, I think the rules are a little bit different, right? We kind of look at them a little bit different. I think that if you can't lead your team, even though he's had great numbers, I mean, but you got to be able to lead your team to at least college football playoff. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. And you could say that for Shadur Sanders, but I think that with Shadur, I think Shadur's probably he made the most out of the pieces he's had on offense. I mean, you can make an argument that he had Travis Hunter. Okay, I understand that, but I mean, Shadur just got there. Cam Ward been there for a minute, so I just think that Shadur should be in the conversation instead of Cam Ward because he's had to work with a little bit less. That's just my personal opinion.
All right, Red. Do you think Shadur should have replaced anybody?
Not really, because you got Travis Hunter there, and I think it's kind of tough to put 2 guys from the same school. I mean, because they probably would have ended up canceling each other out. I mean, if you're gonna have you either pick one or the other. If you're gonna have Shadur there, then you can't have Travis. But I don't see how you can't have Travis there. Had Colorado ranking, like I said, had they maybe been like a top 10 team, top 5 team in the country, maybe you could have made an argument for Shadur, even though he had great numbers, and I don't think his NFL draft stock is dropped in it. But just for the Heisman Trophy alone, I think they got it right. I mean, y'all here too. I mean, I don't think Shadur is that disappointed. I mean, I think he's probably more concerned about his draft stock than anything, which is not dropped at all. So as long as his draft stock ain't dropped, I think he's good. You say you still got Travis Hunter there representing the entire program. So Travis and Shadur, they so close. So if Travis win, it'll be just like Shadur winning. So I think he can have some positivity in that. And it's tough to keep Cam Ward. Like I say, the names that we got on there, it's kind of tough to keep them all off. Cam Ward, with the exception of the Syracuse game, he had a solid season. Junty had a solid season with Boise. And Dylan Gabriel, even though I'm not no big Oregon fan, I can't hate on what he did up there in Oregon. But like you say, none of those guys were going to win over Travis Hunter anyway. And I don't even think Shadur would have won over Travis Hunter. So like Coach said, like you said, Real, they just be there just to be another invitee because you're not leaving with any hardware. So, Shadur, just come there and support your boy Travis. You don't have to be disappointed because you're not a candidate. And I think it is. That's how it is. I don't think Shadur should be disappointed because both guys' draft stock are going to be pretty high.
All right, Jerome said, Coach, I thought Sanders has better numbers than Ward. I have the numbers right here, and Ward has better numbers than Shadur. Cam threw for 4,123 yards, whereas Shadur threw for 3,920. Cam Ward had 36 TDs to Shadur's 35. He threw 7 interceptions. Shadur threw 8. Cam Ward's QBR is 88. Shadur's is 78.2. So Cam Ward's numbers were definitely better than Shadur. Armani just say you like Sanders more than Ward. This was Ward's first season with Miami. He also said it's not Ward's fault. His defense was trash. Jerome says, why can't 2 players from the same team be there? Maurice Thor says Shador Sanders deserved to be there. It's not like they haven't had teammates at the Heisman ceremony before. Nando says Shador was alienated because of his Sanders last name. He had a better year than that other guy that they're holding the seat. And I guess you would be referring, the other guy would be Dylan Gabriel, who threw 400 yards less than Shador, threw 7 TDs less than Shador, but he did have a higher QBR than Shador by 8 points. So he just beat Shador in QBR, and he threw 1 less interception than Shador. Jerome says the invite is about respecting history, and he's thanking me. All right, gentlemen, that's enough college football. We're going to pause right now for halftime. We got some NFL to talk about. We got some NBA to talk about. We got some baseball to talk about on the other side, and we got some games to pick. So hang out with your boys for the second half of the Red and Red Sports Show. Thank you, Reverend Knight Nation, for doing your thing so far and helping the show be what it has been so far today. We'll be right back. And 2 out of the 4 of us are back on the Red Sports Show. I guess Red will be coming back in just a moment. Armani's been having some technological issues. Paraphrasing the late great, not the late great, I'm sorry. I'm going to put Lionel Richie in the grave. Paraphrasing Lionel Richie all show long. So hopefully they'll get these technological issues straight. With that being said, Coach, you all right, sir?
Yes, sir.
So while we're waiting on Red or Monty come back, let's talk a little NBA, man.
All right.
The NBA Cup continues. We are in the Final Four. Got the Milwaukee Bucks and the Atlanta Hawks playing tonight or this afternoon in the first game, and then you got the Houston Rockets against the Oklahoma City Thunder. So, Coach, what says you about the Final Four? Do you have any predictions on who will come out of the semifinals and ultimately win the NBA Cup?
Well, I think basically the first game is going to be one to go down to the fourth quarter because you got the Hawks who seem to have gotten the right strategy from Quinn Snyder and getting the effective from Trae Young and everybody to play the game. But you also got the Milwaukee Bucks who were thought about as cast-offs early, and somehow Doc Rivers seemed to have said, hey, I can still coach, and it's turned around. And I think they're like 11-2 in the last 13 games. So that one's going to be a battle. Now, the second game is not. I think Oklahoma City is clearly one of the teams to make the finals this year or close to it. They don't really care what anybody thinks. They just go out there and play aggressive basketball. All those guys, and they do that one thing that I laugh at all the time when they get an interview. Everybody's in the interview, not just one player. Everybody gets to the interview podium. So, they are a true definition of a team right now. And nobody gets any credit, even though Gilgis Alexander is the man. Everybody should know that, but they don't give any sole person credit. It's a team thing with them. So now we'll see how they can do, even though it's, the cup has never been a predictor of overall NBA championship. It could be. So that's going to be it.
All right, so Coach, who you got winning it?
I go OKC and Atlanta. If they can keep Trae Young focused. I know he got a little high strung because of being in Madison Square Garden. So that was his thing to show those guys, folks he does not like at all, get him fired up. But can he do it a second time in a neutral site like Las Vegas?
All right, the Coach's Corner says OKC will win it all, but it sucks the Golden Child won't be playing because of an outrage call.
Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go. The Dixon Way Hawks win in the cup. Clamp Daniels should shut Dame down, but the key is Chris Middleton against the rookies. Zach, if Zach can limit the vet, the Hawks will win. One more comment. By far the most intelligent member of the panel is Coach, and we thank God for his sibling love that he has by way of his brother. God bless you. Brother Horace, blessing your brother with confidence and love. We appreciate that. All right, with that being said, Red, what are your thoughts about the NBA Cup?
Kind of similar. I got the Hawks, of course. Got my Hawks beating the Bucks tonight. I like how we played them in Milwaukee last week. I think we're gonna bring that same type of energy again today. Quinn Snyder is clearly, I was wrong about him. I see he's a slow burn more than a out there coach. But hey, I can deal with slow burns as long as they're effective. He's a developmental coach, and he's developing these guys slowly but surely. He's helped JJ out. He's helped the rookie out. He's got Trey playing better. He's got DeAndre Hunter playing better. And it's just overall the game I see the Hawks playing. When you can strengthen your bench by putting your young guys in the starting lineup, and now the Hawks have a great bench with Hunter, Bogey, and Big O coming off the bench. I think that's a formidable matchup for the Bucks because the Bucks are more top heavy. I mean, you let Giannis eat and you just stop everybody else. That's the key to beating the Bucks. Let Giannis go to the free throw line and take 3 hours shooting 3 fours. Let him have all the fun he wants. Let him score as many 30 points as he wants to. You stop Dame. You stop Chris Middleton. You don't let them scrubs on the bench get off. You keep Bobby Portis in check. You can beat Milwaukee. I think the Hawks got the formula, and I think they're going to execute the formula again today. On the other side with OKC and Houston, I agree with what Coach said about OKC. OKC is playing tough right now. All I got to say about that is, now, Coach, you see what would have happened had you just stuck with OKC? You gave up on them when they got rid of Westbrook, and look where they at now, man. You would have been, you would have had the number one team in the league. I don't know why you dropped them, but anyway, they playing good. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, I'm a fan. I really like the type of game he plays. I like his unselfishness. Once again, I like how he involves all of his teammates in his press conferences, even though everybody's only talking to him and none of his teammates. But hey, he's going to have his teammates there, no problem. But like I say, OKC is a formidable matchup, and I think it'll be the Hawks versus OKC. And I'm not going to pick OKC to beat my Hawks. Yeah, even though they might be a little bit deeper than my Hawks. I'm not gonna pick them to beat them. I'm gonna say my Hawks and Quinn Snyder and Trey. We're gonna figure this thing out. We're going to beat Milwaukee. We're going to have a day or two to get ready for OKC, and we're going to figure out how to come at them. We're going to need Bogey, JJ. No, we're going to need Bogey, Hunter, and Big O off the bench, definitely to beat OKC. And we're going to need JJ and the rookie that have some solid games, and definitely, like Larry said from the Dixon way, we need Clamp Daniels in both games. We need Clamp Daniels to clamp Dame Dollar down, and we need Clamp Daniels to hold Shea Gilgeous-Alexander in check. So if Clamp Daniels come to play and Trey dishing that ball like he do real and getting everybody involved, Atlanta Hawks finna beat Milwaukee, and Atlanta Hawks finna beat OKC, because I like our style of play. Now, everybody know their role, no selfishness. Trey is figured out, like you say, put the big bodies around him, and you're no longer a defensive liability. Get you a couple of steals every now and then, hang around the basket, get you a few rebounds, Trey. The fact is, Trae Young ain't trying to do it all. And that is the Trae Young that can be a winning basketball player. We don't need 30 a night. We prefer you to have 30 assists a night than 30 points a night. But like I say, it's going to be some games where you might need to put the ball in the basket a little bit more. But the way you playing right now, Trae, is the key to the Hawks playing winning basketball. Keep it up, and we're going to see what you do to Milwaukee tonight. Hopefully OKC Tuesday. Go Hawks, baby! Woo! Red is representing.
Coach Corner can't let that call go between the Rockets and Golden State. There's never been a call like that. It's just diabolical work. Jerome K said, Red, pay attention. Darvin Ham is undefeated in the NBA Cup. I'm just saying. He's an associate with Milwaukee.
Yeah.
The Dixon Way says nobody can stop SGA. Horace, Coach's beloved brother, says both the Bucks and Hawks are red hot, but I got the Hawks in an upset, and in the second game, I got OKC beating a good underrated Rockets team in the finals. Of Hawks are game, but SGA and the Thunder will win the Cup this year. And I think we're going to have two good games. I think if the game is close, Milwaukee will get the benefit of the doubt because they have the super megastar and Giannis, so the Hawks will do well to make sure that the game doesn't come down to the wire, because Giannis has the star appeal over Trey, and they'll get the calls. But the Hawks definitely match up well with the Bucks, and as Red alluded to, the Bucks are definitely top heavy, while the Hawks have much more depth, and hopefully the depth can prevail to propel the Hawks to a victory against Milwaukee. OKC got a squad, and they even have a squad without one of their best players, Chet Holmgren, who's been on the injured list. But don't sleep on the Rockets. Hartenstein is going to be key to stopping the Rockets from advancing, because he has his work cut out for him, because they got that dude Sagan for the Rockets, who's a big boy who could play some ball, and he's like Jokic light. He's a big boy. And Houston has a lot of depth, just like OKC. So that's going to be a very, very interesting game. And I would give the edge to OKC as well, because SGA is just a solid player and a solid leader. And I would probably give the nod to SGA and OKC over the Hawks if they play in the championship, because SGA is just more experienced in those moments and is just a headsy player. And I don't know if Clamp Daniels can put the clamps on SGA, because he's so crafty and he's so smart, and his basketball IQ is really high. So I would want the Hawks to win, but I probably would give the nod to the Thunder in a championship game. Trey is actually playing better defense this season, and that's due to feeding off Dyson's energy. And that's also due to them having all these long defenders who are athletic as well. And he's learning how he doesn't have to switch when they do pick and roll. That's helping him out a lot. Anthony Corey rocks Hawks, bank it. He's got the upset. Nando said Hawks are going to the Eastern Conference Finals. They're legit now.
A little too early, Nando. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. Let's see a little 2 months of some consistency before we go out there. But I love the excitement. Hunter scores 20. We taking it all. And that's really one of the keys right there.
Yeah,
Can Hunter sustain his production off the bench? Like, he's had a hot streak, no diggity, no doubt. But can he average 20 on a regular 2 months from now, going into the playoffs? That's one of the keys to the Hawks' success. Any closing comment? All right. So Red said he agrees. All right, let's move on, gentlemen. We got 5 for 5 action. Got 5 hot topics. So we know that the VP is in the air, so he can't say Q Lunits, but I'm going to cue it anyway. He's on the plane, heading home, so that's why he had to leave. So in honor of the VP, I'm cueing Lunits. Reverend Nation, while our panelists who have 1 minute to talk, 45 seconds single screen, 15 seconds group screen, are making their comments, feel free to make your comments based on the subject matter at hand. Coach, get ready, sir. I'm going to start with you. We had some team drama going on this past Thursday. Devondre Campbell of the San Francisco 49ers refused to get in the game when Kyle Shanahan wanted to put him in the game. What says you, Coach? Go.
Well, basically, you're looking at Devondre Campbell. When he went to the locker room, the guy or the person with the 49ers, I guess, that was with him, should have told him, make sure he gets everything that's his and go on out and go on home. Simple as that. Well, we don't need to waste time. There's no need to argue with him or try to hear his side. He'll give me his side from home. He would have been told to direct, because I'm sure he wouldn't want to be in that locker room with those players coming in after he refused to play. Simple as that.
Ray, what says you?
Just completely selfish, completely ignorant, completely unforgivable and unbelievable, to be honest with you. I just never seen a player just walk off the field. I saw a player get kicked off the field by Mike Singletary, coincidentally the same team, but just a player just walk off the field and quit on your team, quit on your brothers in the middle of a game, all because you upset that they didn't play you earlier, and then when the guy that they play above you gets hurt and they need you to go back in, you refuse to. So I don't want to hear nothing about no mental thing. This ain't no mental health issue. This is a selfish issue. He was upset that he got benched for Rakestraw, and when Rakestraw got hurt, they needed him to go back in, and he said no. And to that, the NFL and everybody in NFL should say no to you. This is a complete embarrassment, and I'm ashamed my Falcons drafted you in the NFL, Devondre. I can't believe you, man. This is so disrespectful and just unbelievable, man. No respect at all as an NFL player. You completely sold out your teammates and yourself.
The coach's corner said Rev just jumped into a time machine and said no diggity, no doubt. Maurice Q. Lunitz, thank you, man, for stepping in for the VP, Mr. Prime Minister. He says that's a cardinal sin in sports. It would have been cut at that moment. No excuses for that. I agree. And Kyle Shanahan has definitively said he will not play for the 49ers anymore. I'm just wondering why he hadn't been officially cut yet. So I guess they're trying to work out those parameters on him being cut. Let's move forward. As we're talking about issues, the Eagles got issues. Last week, after the Eagles won a nail-biter against the Carolina Panthers, A.J. Brown was asked what's going on. He says the passing attack, they need some work. And then Brandon Graham, when being interviewed by a local Philadelphia radio station, went and had some words for A.J. Brown and basically tried to suggest he's a problem. Nevertheless, after some cleaning up, A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts have said they're good. Red, what's your thoughts about what's going on in Philadelphia? Go.
I believe the former before I believe the latter. I ain't believing what AJ Brown and Hurts came out and said. All they were doing was just cleaning stuff up. That's all they were doing. What's the word they use? Damage control. That's all they were doing. Damage control. You should have came out earlier in the week before the coach came out and before Brandon Graham ruined it by opening his big mouth. But anyway, it's just AJ Brown, dude, you have just become a selfish guy. I need to hurry up. But they should have left you in Tennessee because that's where you belong. You don't belong on championship contender, man. And now I see why you was on Tennessee for so long. The Eagles should get rid of you after this season, put you on a trade block. This should be your last season in Philadelphia, AJ Brown. Put you on a team where you can get all your numbers but never win. And then we'll see how you feel. Sick of this guy.
Coach.
I mean, it's simple recipe that people have said for long. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Simple as that. Something was going on. If they solved it or not, okay, but there was something going on. Hopefully they have squashed it and they're ready to move on and keep playing in the NFL season. Simple as that.
All right. We're going to go back to some comments about Campbell. Jerome K said, has Campbell provided any comments? Till that happens, we can't really have a complete informed opinion. Mondo says Campbell is the culture that my Falcons have showed this season. We just have quit this season.
Man, leave the Falcons out of Devondre Campbell's best now. Mondo, they can't bring the Falcons in everything now. Oh.
All right, we'll see if the Eagles have some major problems because they do have a big game against their interstate rival, the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we'll see if there's some real issues. And let's just say, man, the Eagles know how to promote drama. That's for sure. On to the next topic. Bill Belichick leaves the NFL for college football. He goes to North Carolina, and they're affectionately calling it now Chapel Bill. What says you, Coach, about Bill Belichick going to North Carolina?
They'll be in a bowl game next year easily because one, he's a good coach. We get to talking, and second, that schedule is not very tough. They got Clemson, and I think that's the only ranked team as of now they got playing. But hey, people start to come because of Bill Belichick. And one thing he can say that not a lot of coaches can say, I can get you in the NFL when he wants to recruit. So he's going to be successful. Simple as that.
Red, what says you?
Well, Red, you know how we call the SEC, the KFC, the Kirby Football Conference. They're going to have to rename the ACC the BBC, the Bill Belichick Conference. Because, man, Belichick about to own the ACC now, man. I mean, he's going to get I believe he's going to have a nice coaching staff. I believe early on he's going to get a lot of recruits that UNC probably wouldn't have got without him there. Transfer portal going to work in his favor. Yield money. You don't mind dropping a few dollars for a player that he feels going to help his program. I think for the first few years, it's going to do a good thing for UNC. Like I said, he's going to have a pro-style offense and program pretty much. So all the players going there are going to be prepared for the NFL. So I think it's a good move. Because like I said earlier, I just don't think Belichick is that great of an NFL coach without Brady. And Brady is retired. So that means no more great NFL coaching by Belichick. So let him go to college where he can actually make a difference. So good decision, Bill Belichick. I am pulling, well, not pulling like that, but I think he'll do a good job in UNC. Good decision, Bill.
Anthony Corey says Belichick will have the most televised losses at North Carolina. How is it any different from Anthony, the quarterback, being too tired to play? You can't trust any player with Brown as a last name, Antonio or AJ, heck, even the Browns. Maurice Thrower,
I'm starting to think they
Anthony
relate.
Corey also said why Charlie Brown couldn't kick. That's why Charlie Brown couldn't kick the football. Maurice Thrower says seems like AJ Brown is getting a little green with envy of Barkley. Ding, 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 ding. Because he's not getting his targets. The diva wide receivers coming out. Nano says, but he was drafted here. That's talking about Devondre Campbell. Coach Corner said, glad he went to North Carolina. I hope he takes Quinn with him so they all can bum heels together. Nando says, Bill at North Carolina is going to work out just fine. He can teach kids just like Coach Prime is doing. Maurice Thor says Belichick will have the Tar Heels on the upswing. It'll be interesting to see if he can reach the younger generation and deal with the transfer portal. I got mixed emotions, man. I love Belichick's experience, but do y'all remember what happened to the Patriots once the Patriots went young? How did he fare?
Yeah.
He didn't fare well with those young guys. Also, when you go to college, you're trying to experience the best time of your life. What kind of rules would Belichick put in place? Because he had rules that pros had to follow that were pretty stringent. Imagine the rules that he's going to try to put on college players, and will college players rebel against his rules? Also, yeah, Belichick got Super Bowls, but some of them guys might look at Bill Belichick with the Janet Jackson spirit. Bill, what have you done in the football game lately? Everything that you did was with Tom Brady. Since Tom Brady left you, what do you have to show for it? So I don't really know if this Bill Belichick thing is going to work or not. As Coach would normally say, stay tuned. All right. Anthony Corey said, Bill won't last 2 years. Wow.
Wow. Okay.
We'll see if that comes into fruition. And we'll see if Red's prediction that the ACC will become the BBBC will come into fruition. All right, on to the next topic. We got two players. I'm going to add two. Y'all, it was only one initially. Max Fried and Juan Soto. They get that bag. They get the bag. Let me change it, the language. They get the bag. Reb, what says you, brother? Go.
Juan Soto, man, it's hard to imagine somebody getting paid more than Ohtani. I mean, Ohtani can pitch and hit effectively. He can give you Cy Young pitching and give you Hank Aaron hitting. So I can understand his $700 million. But boy, I mean, you paying Juan Soto, man, until he what, 40? Probably past 40. How old is he now? 15 years? Lord have mercy. Hey, well, he is your ambassador. Okay, so Juan Soto is the Mets ambassador. I hope it works out, but I don't think my Braves are worried. Okay. As far as Max Fried going to the Yankees for $200 million, that's a nice deal, man. I mean, the Yankees, they lost Juan Soto, but they just upgraded their pitching staff. You put him over there with Cole, Marcus Stroman, Rondon, man, the Yankees, they got a nice little pitching staff now. Now, if you can just find somebody to protect Aaron Judge in the lineup, because you gained Max Fried, but you lost Juan Soto, you know, so I mean, it remains to be seen how it all works out, but I think it's two good deals for two deserving players. I think the Mets may have went a little too far with Juan Soto, but we'll see.
Coach.
Yeah, Fried is going to be a good addition. He's one of the better left-handers in the Major League Baseball. So, hey, you got your left-handed arm that you can get in there, give you quality 15 to 20 starts and everything. But as far as Juan Soto goes, the New York Mets have paid a lot of money for a man who in 5 to 6 years is going to be a DH, pretty much, because his outfield skills are not that good. They're okay, but they're not that good. So hope they got a place for him since the National League has a DH now. There you go. You plug him right on in and get somebody else out there.
Wow. So you don't have a lot of faith in Juan Soto.
Not for 15 years, no.
Yeah. I
Well,
only
just-
coached 15 years. That's a long time, man.
Well, he does have an out clause after 5.
Oh, okay, he does. Okay.
Yeah, he does have an out clause. All right.
You know what? Something tell me he gonna take it too, because he seemed like he just type to opt out, see if he can get some more money. I bet after that 5th year rail, if he have a great season after that 5th year, I bet he opt out.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. Maurice Thrower says the UNC locker room will be like Fort Knox. Alexis Hill said, I'm not sure if Belichick will work, but now the UNC may get some great players, but it depends on the staff and transfer portal and Neil. Anthony Corey says, keep it a buck, build there to pass it on to his son, just like LeBron waited to get Bronny in. That's a good point.
Yeah, because his son is the defensive coordinator.
Maurice Thrower afraid can be like Andy Pettit for the Yankees. Soto going to the Mets is a joke. Wow. That's interesting. To the last topic. Jimmy Butler is on the trading block from Maurice Thrower's Miami Heat. He's opened the door for a few teams, mainly in the West Coast, to be places where he wouldn't mind being traded. Coach, what says you about this Jimmy Butler information?
Yeah, before the season is over, and I'm just going to say this and see what happens. I could be wrong, as people always say, but I say Jimmy Butler is a warrior before the All-Star break.
Why so?
I think they'll match what he is now. Now it has to be what they want to, what they're going to give up. I hope that they won't give up your favorite NBA 2K basketball player, Jonathan Kuminga, but that might be the price they ask for, the Heat asked for. So we'll see. But I think he's going to the Warriors if he's traded to anybody.
Red, what says you?
I wouldn't mind him coming to the Lakers to take Rui Hachimura place or somebody like that. But I don't know what we give up for him. But I can see I'm hearing Denver. I'm hearing Phoenix. I think I heard the Warriors a little. I would love to see what coach, not our coach, but coach's corner coach think about Jimmy joining his team. And I would love to know what Maurice Thrower thinking about losing Jimmy Butler too. But I guess he's wore out his welcome in Miami. I guess Coach Sproles ready for him to go on. They had the opportunities to win, and I guess they saying, I think we just can't win with Jimmy Butler. We about to go another route. That's fine, because he can definitely help a team. Like he can help a West Coast team, definitely. And interesting to see what they'll get back for Jimmy Butler. So we'll see how it all works out. But I just hope he gets on the team that he can help and not just make a trade just to be making it now. It should work out for both sides. So we'll see how it work out. But I'm kind of interested to see how this story plays out. I don't think my Hawks are gonna be involved in this. And like I say, I even heard my Lakers gonna be involved in this, even though I wouldn't mind Jimmy Butler on the team. But I'll see what happens. I'll see what team he goes to that one of my teams is gonna have to contend with.
All right, it will be interesting to see what happens with Jimmy Butler. Going back to baseball, the president said the Mets can cancel the clause by adding another $5 million per year after the first 5 years. Alexis Hill said the Mets overpaid for Juan Soto to prove a point. The Braves would definitely have to deal with the Mets for a while now. I hate to see Free go to the Yankees. Now he may win a ring with them. Anthony Corey says Gabrielle Union will not allow Jimmy to leave. Photo shoot penny. All right. That was pretty
Stay out
clear.
of that one. I'm gonna let D Wade take care of that, Anthony.
All right. So that concludes our 5 for 5 segment. We want to thank panelists of Revenite Nation for leading us. Anthony, Maurice Thor, the Prime Minister, who's close to what's going on in Miami, said there have been rumblings about it, but I don't think Raleigh will won't pull the trigger without getting some comparable compensation. Otherwise, it's just fake news. For now, Anthony Corey said, who needs a Jimmy Butler on the team? Orlando, maybe. Interesting. And it may be more about attitude. That's why I don't see him going. Who? No. That's Orlando as Bancaro.
Yeah, Bancaro. I don't think, unless they're going to trade him.
Nah, Bancaro got more value than Jimmy Butler now.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Butler on the ending side of his career, Bancaro got a lot of career left. So they wouldn't make that trade. All right, gentlemen, let's move on to our picks. And before we go into the NFL picks, let me just show you where our college standings are since we did not do that. Red is still in first place by 1 game.
Oh, God.
He went 2-2 last week. The good Reverend is 1 game away from Red. Had to stop that Red Invitational stuff. Make him sweat a little bit. So I went 3-1 along with Coach and Armani. Red got the SMU Penn State losses. I had the Penn State loss. Coach Armani got the SMU loss. So this is where our standings are when it comes to college football. Coach will probably smile a little bit more when it comes to pro football. With the pro circuit, Coach is still in first place, even though he was tied with the worst record for this week with Red. Armani won the week with a 5-2 record. Only 2 games he lost were the Bills as well as the Cardinals. I went 4-3, lost the Bears, Cardinals, and Bills. Red and Coach went 3-4. Red lost the Cowboys, Bears, Cardinals, and Bills. Coach lost Cowboys, Cardinals, Bills, and Falcons. So that's where we are. Coach still has a pretty healthy lead. He's 6 games ahead of Armani. So that's where our standings are as of today. So let's get ready. Make some picks, Revenite Nation. Please feel free to join us as we make our picks for our NFL picks. We got 7 games to choose.
I'm picking 7 upsets. All of them.
All right. Coach, we're going to you first. Then pick some music out. All right, there we go. Revenite Nation, feel free to pick along with us. First game, Commanders versus the Saints. Who you got, Coach?
Now, the Saints are beat up. I'm going to go with the Cobra Commanders easily. The Saints are trying to finish the season. I'll go with the Commanders.
Red, who you got?
Definitely the Commanders. No, I ain't picking the Saints for nothing in the world. Definitely not picking them over the Commanders.
I'm joining y'all picking the Commanders as well. Don't see the Saints beating the Commanders. The Saints have feasted recently off of subpar NFL team. And this is the best quarterback that the Saints will have faced in a long, long time. So give me the Commanders. On to the next, Red. Dolphins versus Texans. Who you got?
Dolphins have been playing okay lately, but they got Tua back. But you're going to Texas house, and I know CJ Stroud is having a sophomore slump, but he'll be able to handle Miami. Miami don't play too well on the road away from Miami. Definitely not going to go into Houston and take over them. Houston, you got to win this game. If y'all lose to Miami, then yeah, y'all definitely not the team that we thought you were. But I think Texas will take care of business. Go ahead and lock up that weak division they're in, and Miami send Miami back, eliminated from the playoffs. You tried Miami, but Tua missed too many games. It's over with. Texans don't win.
All right, I'm looking at the last 5 for the Texans. The 1-score win over the Rams. They beat Las Vegas. They beat New England. Then lost by 13 against Green Bay. Then won an OT at home over the Jets. And last time I seen the Dolphins play in favorable weather conditions, and this would be one of those games, the Dolphins beat the Rams. So I'm going out there, I'm picking the Dolphins, especially since this is not a cold weather game. And I think Tua will lead a victory on behalf of the Dolphins to beat CJ Stroud in Texas. Who you got, Coach?
Yeah, they're not playing in a cold weather environment, so I'm going to go with the Dolphins. I think they can pull it out. They're not as hot and cold in Texas. It's a little bit, but not as cold. I'll go with the Dolphins.
All right, Coach and Rev got the Dolphins. Red rocking with the Texans. On to the next game. Colts versus Broncos. This game is in the Mile House City. Denver's playing better football than the Colts. I think this is a game that Denver must win. It's at home, and especially since they're in the playoff chase. So I'm going to rock with Bo Nix, Sean Payton, and the Broncos to beat the Colts. Who you got, Coach?
Yeah, I'm going with the 35-year-old Bo Nix, too. The Colts, Anthony Richardson has gotten a whole lot better, but I don't think the Broncos are for some reason. I don't like Sean Payton, but I think they're going to win this game. I'm going to go with the Broncos.
Red, who you got?
Last 2 Colts wins, New England and the Jets. That ain't impressing me. Broncos don't win 3 in a row, and 2 of the games were at home where they dropped 38 points and 41 points. They at home again, probably gonna be in between. They'll probably drop 40 on Indy. The point is, Bo Nix is balling. The Broncos defense is balling. They finna lock up their last playoff spot this week, and the AFC playoffs will be done with 3 weeks left to go in the season. All the spots will already be locked up. So, Broncos, go ahead and handle your business. You're going back to the playoffs for the first time in a while.
All right. We're going to pause right there. Let's see what Revenite Nation, or who Revenite Nation is picking in these pick'em streets. Maurice Thor going with Washington. The Commanders over the Saints. Anthony Corey has Commanders. Alexis Hill, Commanders. On to the Texans, Miami Dolphins game. Alexa Hill has Texans. Anthony Corey got Dolphins. Jerome Case, going back to the previous game, has the Commanders. Maurice Thrower has Miami. Houston's 2 up and down. Alexis Hill has the Broncos over the Chargers. Anthony Corey has the Broncos. Maurice Thrower has the Broncos. All right, gentlemen. On to the next game. And it's on you, Coach. Buccaneers. Buccaneers versus the Chargers. This game is in Los Angeles. Who you got, Coach?
I think Justin Herbert, who seemed like he found a new gear under Harbaugh, and that team is fired up. Baker Mayfield can't win this one. I'm going with the Chargers.
Red, who you got, sir?
I guess I'll go to Chargers since them winning to help the Falcons out, but I don't think the Falcons gonna appreciate the help because they ain't gonna even handle their own business. But we'll see. But go ahead, Chargers, and beat the Bucks and at least keep things open for my Falcons. I think the Chargers will win.
All right, I'm gonna roll with the Chargers as well. Last 5 of the Buccaneers, they've been feasting off sorry teams such as Raiders, Panthers, Giants. The last 2 quality teams that they played that were in the playoff hunt or are in the playoff hunt, they got beat by KC in overtime and beat by San Fran by a score. So give me the Chargers. Red on you, bro.
Okay.
Packers versus Seahawks. Who you got?
Wow. Now this is gonna be a good one right here. I think they in Seattle. Let me see where they at. Yeah, they in Seattle. Packers, they don't do so good on the road, and Gino still taking advantage of that 12th man up there. It look like the Packers are favored in it. But you know what? I'm rolling with the Seahawks. I'm rolling with Geno Smith. He's still not right back. They don't want 4 in a row. They're gonna keep it. They're gonna keep the streak going at home. 12th man wins again. Let's go, Geno. Let's go, Seattle.
All right. I'm surprised Red went against his love doctor, which is interesting.
Yeah.
The Seahawks are on a 4-game win streak. Have beat San Fran, Arizona, New York, and Arizona again. The Packers, they lost last week, a tough loss to Detroit. They beat Miami, San Fran, Chi-Town, lost to Detroit by 10. From what I just read, I'm going to go out there with the Packers. It's a matter of who I have more faith in at the QB position. I have a little bit more faith in Love than I do Geno Smith. And I know the Packers definitely need a win to try to keep pace with the Detroit Lions and secondly with the Minnesota Vikings. So give me Green Bay. Who you got, Coach?
You know, every time I pick against the Sea Chickens, they seem to win. Let's see if I pick them, then the Packers gonna come up with a win. I'm gonna stay with the Packers. I think they're the more reliable team right now. I'm gonna pick the Packers over the Sea Chickens.
All right. So it's on me. This is a good one right here. The Bills versus Lions. And this game is in Detroit. Let me put it up. There we go. Bills versus Lions. Bills coming off a tough loss against was it the Rams last week? Yeah, tough loss against the Rams.
Yeah.
Last week they go into Detroit. Detroit is definitely a tough place to play. Detroit will be locked in because they got the Eagles as well as the Minnesota Vikings breathing down their necks. Vikings can be in position to win the division. Eagles and Vikings, with the Detroit Lions loss, will put them in place to be in first place of the division. So I doubt very seriously the Lions are going to give up this home field advantage. Plus, I think they're out physical. The Bills, will the Bills score some? Yep. But I think the Lions will be victorious. Who you got, Coach?
Ooh. I'm gonna actually go with the upset for the Bills. You know, Josh Allen makes a difference no matter what people say about him. And the Lions, another again, they could not have a slow start because I think the Bills are gonna press them the whole game. I'm gonna try to put that serious pass rush on Golf. So I'm gonna go with the Bills and a slight upset.
All right, you got one bill, one line. Are you going to roll or are you going to get paid? Who you got?
I'm going with the Lions. I don't trust the Bills like that. They showed me what they are. They were struggling against the Rams. Now I can't take them against the best team in the league now. Against the let me see where this game is played. I think it's in Detroit. Yep,
Yes,
it's
Detroit.
in Detroit. That's right. Yeah, you struggled in LA, and now you're on the road again against Detroit. I'm glad Buffalo got their spot locked up, their playoff spot locked up. If you're going to struggle 2 weeks in a row, you can forget about home field advantage in the AFC. Josh Allen still might win MVP, though, because it ain't him it's his defense mostly that's struggling when they play a tough opponent. But I think Josh will have a good game, but I think Jared Goff and the Detroit defense will have a better game. So I'm going to take the Lions. The Lions, they're a buzzsaw right now. And if the Bills struggle against the Rams, I know they're going to struggle against the Lions. So prove me wrong, Josh. Lions.
All right. On to the last game is back on you, Coach, and it's the Pennsylvania State Championship game between your Steelers, led by Russell Sierra Wilson, versus the Philadelphia Eagles, led by not Jalen Hurts, not A.J. Brown, but that bad boy named Saquon Barkley. We know who you're choosing because you're not going to choose against the Steelers. So the question for you is, why will the Steelers win?
Is that sweatshirt you got? Is that black and gold or blue and gold?
It's black and gold.
You may not want to wear it Sunday to the church. That's all I can say. You may want to just put it aside and come with some traditional red gear, like your robe, which probably is neutral color. Well, it's Kansas City red. I know that. But now, Steelers in a bit of trouble because there's no George Pickens. That your two leaders on your defense, Larry Ogunjobi and Deshaun Elliott, who is the best safety, the best corner player in the Steelers secondary and got the most interceptions, are not playing this week. You know, everybody say next man up, but those against Jalen Hurts and Saquon against Saquon Barkley, you're gonna need some ballers. You're gonna need your ballers out there. So if they can't stop Saquon, it's gonna be a tough day for the Steelers. But hey, I can't go against them right now. They're gonna lose sometime down the stretch in the next 3 games, but I just don't think they're gonna lose to Philly right now. So I'm gonna go with the Steelers.
Like we didn't know.
Yeah, it's a close call now. Like I said, with those guys out, especially Pickens, Mike Williams better step up big time, or Russ gonna spread it out like he's been doing. And that front line of Philly, I don't think Najee and Warren are gonna get loose like they usually do, but they can. We'll see.
Red, it's on you, bro. What you got?
Steelers. The Steelers gonna win. I got the Steelers over the Eagles. Eagles been having problems all week. Steelers are still about to go in there and dominate these guys. Their defense gonna get in Jalen Hurts' butt, and I'm pretty sure that secondary got something from Mr. A.J. Brown. Selfish, you know what? I ain't worried about Saquon. Steelers gonna hold that in check. They finna get a big victory on the road. I'm with Pittsburgh all day long. Steelers, baby.
Oh man. Gotta make sure my members ain't watching. Because this is Philadelphia territory where I'm in. And I was looking at the Eagles to try try to close with a little slim chance I have winning the standings because I had to find some W's to try to get next to Coach.
Well, I'm
But I've been losing Steelers all year long, and it's because of picking against the Steelers. I'm 7-8 games behind. So I don't have strong convictions right now, especially after what happened this past week with the dissension in the Eagles locker room, and also after they almost lost at home to the Carolina Panthers.
Right.
So because I've been picking against the Steelers and been losing, I got to find some other games down the road to pick against Coach. So I'm going to roll with the Steelers as well. They seem to be more of a stable team. They have a real identity. And the Steelers defense, if they slow Saquon Barkley down and make Jalen Hurts a passer, the Eagles do not have a chance to win that kind of competition. So
It won't happen.
even without Pickens, Mike Tomlin will find a way.
Wait a
I'm
minute.
going to
Yeah.
Steelers.
You didn't say your usual statement, Rev. You know, you usually would have
I
ended
don't
with.
feel strongly on the book.
No, you would have said if Saquon came run and then Jalen Hurts had to throw, it's a wrap.
Oh, it's a wrap. All right. Rebel Night Nation been hanging out, and they made some picks on this last row. Alexis Steele says, I got the Eagles by 3. Maurice Thrower, Eagles in the Battle of Pennsylvania. Side note, the Steelers haven't won in Philadelphia since 1965.
Wow.
Well, that probably changed them.
No,
Yeah,
Maurice Thrower got Detroit. Anthony Corey got the Packers. Alexis Hill has the Bills over the Lions. Anthony Corey got the Bills over the Lions. Alexis Hill rolling with those Seahawks over the Packers. Maurice Thrower got Seattle over the Packers. Anthony Corey rolling with the Chargers to beat the Buccaneers. And we got Maurice Thrower. What happened? Sorry. My place got moved on the comment section. Maurice Thrower got the Chargers over the Bucs. Lex Hill got the Chargers over the Bucs as well. Maurice Thrower said Denver's much improved the last 4 weeks. So he got the Broncos. I think we're going back to those games you already done. All right, gentlemen. We made our picks. We'll see if there's some movement
Hey, Red.
in the standing. Yes, sir.
Did Maurice Thrower leave out the fact that Russell Wilson has never lost to the Eagles?
He didn't throw that point out. So we'll see if there's going to be a first time for something, at least
Coach,
in a
you should have
long
made
time.
that point in yours. I didn't even know that. Now I'm really taking the Steelers now.
Well, all right, Red, you normally go first, so I'm going to let you go first. Again, we're at the end of the show. You have the right. Who has the right to do what, when, where, how, and why? What you got?
All right, Falcons. I know you probably not listening to me. It's okay. I'm used to it at this point of the season. But you have a right to please don't embarrass us in Vegas this week. You got pretty much half of the fan base out there wasting their hard-earned money. I have no idea why. Okay, but they out there. You got the Hawks out there who about to represent, trying to give you a little good look for Monday. So, Falcons, you have the right to just simply beat Desmond Ritter and the Las Vegas Raiders. Don't embarrass us by losing to your former quarterback on Monday Night Football in front of the whole nation, because I promise you, you don't want to know what this city gonna be like next week. if you lose to Vegas, if you lose to the Raiders in Vegas. So please, Falcons, you have the right to save us all from probably very sad and down city that we're gonna be next week if you don't take care of your business. So you have the right to take care of your business. Kirk Cousins, you have the right to come out this slump. Defense, you have the right to keep getting NFL sacks because you probably lead the NFL in sacks the last 2 weeks. So Falcons, you have the right to just do what you need to do to get a victory, end this losing streak, end this cousin slump, and end just my overall feelings about you right now. Because right now, I'm just an motionless Falcons fan. And if you don't win on Monday night, the emotions are just gonna keep disappearing. And I'm gonna be where Rev is at right now because he don't have no emotions with Falcons right now. My emotions about like 5 to 10%. That's all I got left, especially as long as Cousins is playing quarterback. So you want to kill what little emotions I got left, Falcons? Lose Monday night. And what you think Red has ran it before. You might get the rant of Red's Red and Rev career if we lose. I don't even know if they're gonna be worth the rant if they lose Monday night. I might just not even rant it all. I might just talk calm like I am because there's gonna be plenty of other Falcon fans that's gonna be ranting if we don't handle our business. So Falcons, please save me and Rev from having to read all of this BS that we're gonna have to read on Facebook next week if y'all don't handle y'all business. So please save us all the misery. Please, okay? You have the right to just save us from ourselves. Okay, Falcon fans? We don't want to be on suicide watch next week. Trust me, you think I'm kidding. This is gonna be horrific if we lose on Monday night. So please, Raheem, none of your politics is gonna work. None of your political statements in the press and none of your positivity will work at all. You gonna be on the hot seat. The GM gonna be on the hot seat. Cousins, man, you ain't gonna have no seat at all because everybody gonna be saying put Penix in. So look, it is what it is, but I know what it's gonna be if you don't handle your business on Monday night. So Falcons, you have the right to just listen to Red and do what Red says. Handle your business and save us all from the misery that will be put upon us if you don't win Monday Night Football. Thank you. I'm done.
All right, Coach. Who has the right to do what, when, where, how?
South Carolina State. You have the right to actually make this a game and come back and beat Jackson State. You're looking bad right now. It's looking bad for you. And I can't support Jackson State nothing except for maybe lacrosse or something. But you South Carolina State, you have the right to come back and beat Jackson State so they can start crying on Facebook for the next year. You're down 14-0. It's not too late. It's just second quarter. So find your offense, Coach Berry, you and South Carolina State, and come on back and try to win this game.
Coach lifting up the Celebration Bowl going on in Atlanta at this time. Atlanta Hawks, you have the right to show up and be a formidable opponent. All eyes on you. Trae Young, you want to be an all-star. This is a game where you got to shine and show that you're a leader of your team and that you belong. So this is a good moment for the Atlanta Hawks to get some national publicity and for Trae Young to start inching up to being in the higher echelon of NBA stardom. So all eyes on you, Trae, and Atlanta Hawks, and you all have the right to show up and show out. If you don't win, at least look like you belong. All right. Revenite Nation at least has one. You have the right. And Anthony Corey says, Falcons, you got the right to start Penix. All right. With that being said, this is a wrap to episode 355 of the Red and Rev Sports Show. We want to thank everybody who tuned in at any point during our show on today. We invite you to come back next week, episode 356, 11 o'clock, same Facebook page, same YouTube channel with the same group of characters who make up the Red and Red Sports Show. Everybody enjoy your weekend. Be safe out there. If you haven't already done so, tell somebody about the Red and Red Sports Show so they can be a part of Revenite Nation as well. Peace and sports love to each and every one of you all. We're out of here. See you when we see you next week. Peace.